Cooper River Bridge Run will happen on Saturday, April 1st. Today, I talk one-on-one with race director Irv Batten about what's new this year at the Bridge Run for this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like Quintin's Close-Ups on Facebook. Irv Batten with the Cooper River Bridge Run. Welcome back to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Good to be here again, Quintin.
Oh, I appreciate it greatly. Of course, you know you are the race director for the Bridge Run, and I believe it is 20 days to go before the Bridge Run starts. So where are you right now mentally as the race director?
17 days.
17? Wow.
How you like that?
Much better.
Almost 2 weeks.
Yes. Yeah.
So we're just clicking along. Everything's kind of falling into place. We have about closing in on 25,000, which is good. I mean, for post-pandemic, you know, it's about 5,000 or 6,000 ahead of last year at this time.
Wow.
So we're doing pretty good.
Pretty good. So let's reset. What's new? What's now with the Cooper River Bridge Run?
Well, the big thing is we're just trying to get things kind of back to normal. I figure it's going to take a couple years and all, but like I said, everything is going pretty smooth. So we're happy.
You're very happy. So where are you right now with getting back to normal after the pre-pandemic?
Like I said, we're about 6,000 ahead of last year. So, but that's probably about 6,000 behind pre-pandemic. Right. So we're gradually building back up, and like I said, it's probably going to take a few years to do that.
So what is your plan to keep building that?
Well, we're just going to do a lot more marketing and stuff, and we did a big marketing thing for locals right when we opened up registration, and now we're working on like the people that are a little bit an hour or so away. And so we'll continue to do that and just build on it every year.
Okay, so you talk about that registration, then you talk about the locals, and then you talk about the regional folks that are coming in. So out of that 6,000 right now, how many are the locals and how many people are regional?
Out of the 25,000?
Yes, I should say.
About 60%, like 58% are over an hour away.
Yes, sir.
So, we would like to get, maybe a little bit more local people.
Sure.
Because, hotels and different things. I know that's going to be, there's so many different factors that are going to come into, building it back up. But, like I said, we're doing pretty good. I mean, if we look at it compared to other large races nationally, we're ahead of the curve. We're ahead of how they're doing. So that's a great thing. Smaller races are picking up a little bit quicker than the larger races. But like I said, we compare us to other races our size, and we're really ahead of what the other races are doing. So, we're very, very pleased with that.
So you're ahead of the curve is by how much percentage-wise?
Maybe about 15%.
Wow.
So it's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
So where are these people coming from an hour away, say, I don't know, Orangeburg?
No, I mean, we're talking about there's someone from every state in the United States, and about 15 different countries.
Wow.
So I mean, we're still getting that same group of people from all over the United States. It's just a smaller group than previous before the pandemic.
Yeah.
So like I said, it's probably going to take a few years to get those numbers back up.
Sure.
But we're very optimistic about it, and like I said, things are trending in the right direction. So we're very, very happy about it.
Okay, Irv, so what other trends are you looking at right now when it comes to the future of the Bridge Run?
Well, like I said earlier, there's a lot of factors that we have to look at and really try to manage the best we can. Most of them are out of our control, but we have to manage the situations like gas prices, airline prices, hotels. Sure. People usually come. They're not just here for Friday night.
Yes.
They're here for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
So they're going to spend, and then if it's a family of 4,
yes.
but you got to look at the big picture. This is such a huge economic impact to the Charleston area that we have to figure out how to get those numbers back up, because it's so important to restaurants and hospitality industry and stuff. So we're working with all these different groups, trying to come up with new ways or new twists on how to attract people. Even what Southern Living just Charleston is the number one destination again. I mean, we know that. I mean, and so we just have to take those little different things that we were getting from other people and say, hey, promote it. Hey, let's come to Charleston.
So what are those new ways and new innovations that you're working with right now with the restaurants to make sure that we get more locals and people in general to the Bridge Run?
Well, one of the big things we're doing different is it's the whole marketing campaign. How do we market the Bridge Run? We were in the Charlotte airport this year.
Oh yeah, I love that.
I've had so many people text message me. I'm in Charlotte, walking through the airport, and there's a Bridge Run sign, billboard inside the airport.
Yes, sir.
We've been in the Charleston airport for years, but it's like, so we're spreading out that way. The artist that just won the design for this year,
yes,
talked to him yesterday, and he was going to a Spartan race down in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And so he's driving down the highway. He looks up right before he gets to Jacksonville, and there's a billboard with the Bridge Run on it.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're spreading further and further out, trying to get not just people in Georgia, North Carolina. We're trying to go further out, and we're in Runner's World. So it's a lot of national advertising and marketing that we're trying to do too, and so it's a very complex thing. We want to get a bunch of locals. We want to get people from out of the state. So.
And they just had the Gate River Bridge Run just I guess a week ago. Yeah, down in Jacksonville. So let me ask you this, Irv. You talk about obviously the numbers being kind of down right now. So what was the economic impact on the Bridge Run last year?
Well, we didn't do a study last year. We're going to do an actual economic impact study next year because, like I said, we're kind of working on a 2-year plan of building back up.
Yes, sir.
And so I think next year our numbers will be closer to a normal year, and so then we'll do the economic impact study.
Yes, sir.
And I think it would be the information will be more beneficial for us next year than now because we had 20,000 last year. We're hopefully getting close to 30,000 for this year's race. Then next year will be closer to a normal race. So if we did an economic impact study last year, that information really wouldn't be
outdated.
It would only be good for that 1 year. So we want to get closer to a normal year to see, and then we'll do that study every 2 or 3 years and all.
So you have your ads in Charlotte Airport, Charleston Airport, of course. You have those billboards right down there on 95 towards Jacksonville. So where are you getting the most regional runners or really participants from?
Well, other than South Carolina, the vast majority of people come from South Carolina, but Georgia, North Carolina, Virginia, those 3 states, that's where the next level's at, and then we go further out. And so we want to go, we're looking at the direct flights from flying to Charleston. There's direct flights from Ohio, like Cincinnati and that. So, and then there's direct flights to Austin, Texas. So there's direct flights from Tampa to Charleston. So we're looking at those places because that would be easy. It's like, hey, there's a direct flight. You don't have to go from here to Atlanta to whatever. So we're looking at all that, and that's part of that marketing plan that we're starting to implement. We have like a 3-4 year marketing plan to see if we can get back to a normal year, and this is like the first step. So we're going to keep on expanding on it.
And staying on that, actually, a normal year, would you all actually go back to the old days when it was up to, as far as participation cap of 50,000?
No, it was 40,000 is a cap.
Okay.
And so that's a cap set on the Bridge Run by the city of Charleston. Okay. And so that's basically set. How close can we get to that? We'll see.
We'll
I
see.
mean, but we won't go over 40,000.
Sure.
You look at other large races,
Oh, yeah.
and you compare numbers, but then you also have to. There's a lot of different factors. The size, the width of the streets. Well, you know, Charleston is narrow streets, and all, so it only can hold so many. And we don't want to put ourselves in a position where, you know, there's a lot of issues because of that. So I know a lot of people love the 20,000 person race because they feel like it's just so much easier to run. But that's why we have the waves and you know, we spread people out and all. So no, I mean, we really want to get back, you know, 35,000, 38,000, that area. I think that's the sweet spot. So that's the goal.
So, speaking of goal, Irv, what is your registration goal for this year?
We want to get as close as we can to 30. I think, you know, we're starting to get closer to creeping up on 25,000. So it's going to be somewhere between 25 and 30. You know, the closer we can get to 30,
yes, sir,
the happier I'll be.
Oh, yeah. So let me ask you this. What were the numbers of early registrants say by early January?
We've been between 3,000 and 6,000 ahead of last year, pretty much the whole time. And so that's a good sign.
Yes.
And hopefully next year we'll be 3,000 to 5,000 ahead of this year's numbers throughout the whole registration period.
So how much percentage-wise was registration down before the price actually increased?
Oh, it wasn't. It hadn't. I mean, it depends on what you're comparing your numbers to. If you go to pre-pandemic,
Yes, sir.
I mean, to me it's hard to compare now to pre-pandemic because there's so many other factors involved. You know, some people don't want to be in the crowd. Some people, I mean, like I said, the hotel and the airlines and everything, you can't really compare. So what I'm kind of focused on is comparing us from last year, and we're doing, like I said, so much better than last year. And that's what, once we figure out what the new norm is, because the new norm might not be 38 to 40,000. We don't know what it's going to be yet, but we got to find out what it is over the next, 2, 3, 4 years, and then that's what the new norm is going to be. We just got to figure it out. Is it going to be back to 38, 40,000? I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball.
Right.
It might be 32 to 35. We just have to figure out what it's going to be, and that's what we're focused on, trying to find the new norm.
Yes, sir.
And then putting everything we have into keeping that.
So when you do find that new norm, Irv, what would you actually implement as far as, things for race participants and the race itself?
One motto: if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Okay.
The bridge run has been so successful. Yes, we're going to continue to tweak little things here and there.
Okay.
But the plan, the map, the format of the bridge run has been such a success. We're going on 46 years.
Yes. I've been doing well. I'm supposed to do it over 20, but I'm getting close to 17. Well, I'm at 17 now, so I got 3 more years to go.
We want to continue. We go to a bunch of different events throughout the year and promote the bridge run. We go to the Peachtree Road Race, for example, which is the largest 10K in the United States. And by far, everyone that comes by our booth that's ever done the bridge run tells us they love the bridge run. It's so much nicer, fun.
Oh, yeah.
We give out so much more stuff than any other race they go to. That includes Peachtree.
Yes.
So, we just got to keep that up. We got to keep making people happy, making it a fun event where they want to come back. They want to tell friends to come back. That's another part of the marketing plan of getting people to come back after the pandemic.
Yeah.
Remind them of what a great event, how much fun they've had over the years, and get them to invite friends and come back.
Yeah, absolutely. So how many people have actually come back from last year?
We've got, I mean, our return rate is very low. I don't know the number off the top of my head, but it's very large. We have a lot of people that keep on coming back. We've got a large number of people that have done 10, 15 years. Some of them might do like 2 years on and take a year off, and then do another 2 years on, but they keep on coming back, and that's the thing. We want them to spread the word. Like, you need to invite your friends.
I do it all the time on social media.
That's the best. It's like, that the word of mouth is the best. If someone has a great experience, and they're going to tell everybody.
Yes, sir.
This was an awesome event.
Yeah.
And that's what we hear at these different events we go to. Is, I've heard all about the bridge run. Everybody that I talked to says they love it. I said, well, then why don't you come? And so, we're going to continue to do that, and it's just going to build back up. I just totally confident about that.
And you talk about people sometimes taking 2 years off and then taking 2 years on and all that stuff. So how many people from last year have actually, deferred last year, coming back this year?
We don't have a lot of people that have deferred. They come. There are a few that, something happened. Someone's getting married or something happened. Hey, I can't come this year. Can I just? So we do that. We let them defer. So I don't have that number in front of me either, but it's not that large of a group. But we do allow that. I mean, we understand life happens, something happens, and so we want people to keep on coming back.
And I know you told me in the past, in the park over there, that the more people register when the actual price increases. So how many people will sign up after the increase?
We've had, I think we've had 4 increases.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's just every time there's a little increase. And even though we've done those increases, our prices aren't very high compared to other races our size. So,
how have you all been able to manage that and not increase it?
we have some great sponsors.
Okay.
When we get, when I go after different items like the T-shirts, the finisher medals, I do a lot of, I need 3 bids. I want to get the best price.
Yeah.
This is what I want. What can you do? I mean, what's your best price?
Sure.
And so, I don't like to spend money.
I know you have to save as much money as you can.
I got to say, but there's things that you just have to spend. And also, but no, we have to, try to get as many sponsors as we can to help, reduce that price.
Sure.
And also, but it's important, and like I said, people enjoy all the stuff we give them. So
Yes.
I just have to come up with something good for the 50th.
It's
coming up soon. It's going to be here in no time. This is 46.
Yes.
And I'm like, I got to come up with something super special for
Yeah.
the 50th. So if you have any great ideas, you could send them my way, and I'll.
Yeah, absolutely. So how many sponsors do you actually have this year?
Oh my goodness. Well, the big Harris Teeter and Benefit Focus are our presenting sponsors.
Cool.
They're the top 2, and then we've got about 8 or 9 T-shirt sponsors. And then we've got a bunch of that sponsor a little bit lower level than the T-shirt. So I mean, 30, 40 different sponsors. I mean, we got a bunch.
Yes, sir.
But it takes a bunch.
Take a bunch.
We give a free bus service to all the participants.
Sure.
It's not free.
Right.
It's free. It's free, but it's not free. So it's like that helps out with the sponsor. I mean, sponsorship money helps out with that.
Sure.
And then different things, security prices. So there's a lot of things portlets. There's a lot of things that cost a lot of money.
Yes.
And also all the sponsorship money kind of helps.
Sure.
That too.
Yes.
And also fencing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's so much stuff that people just don't realize. It's like, how much does it cost to put on a race? Well, depends on the size of the race, and it also depends on these other factors that come into it.
So what factors have come into the 2023 race?
Nothing new so far, so I don't want anything new.
Right.
It's all the same group of items that
Yes, sir.
that's the way it is.
Yes.
Just you have to deal with it and come up, and like I said, we bid out, like the portlets are bidding out and trying to get the best deal.
Yeah.
Fencing and different things. So scaffolding for the finish and the start.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of different things that come into it. So so we just kind of and then printing all those banners and stuff that are all over the course. And, there's a lot of different stuff that comes into it that just people don't realize, but you have to do that because that's part of the puzzle that makes the bridge run
Successful.
as an event that it is that everybody loves. There's so many different pieces, and you just got to put them all together.
Yes, indeed. And I know obviously you have walkers as well. So how many walkers have actually signed up versus runners?
There's probably about 40% are walkers.
Wow.
37.
Now, Irv, when I first started the bridge run back in 2000, we started at Coleman and obviously McGrath Derby.
Yeah.
Will you ever go back to that format?
No.
Okay.
No. The course is pretty much set, unless there's some kind of change in the way the streets are or whatever. But no, the course is set. It's really, everything is in a good spot. The starting line's in a good spot. There's parking for security and whatever. And I mean, everything's kind of set that way. Finish line's the same way. We got the power. We got the internet and everything for the timing people. Everything is set there. If magically I could change something, I would magically make Marion Square
bigger,
about 3 times bigger.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
So, but you can't. So, you deal, like I said, the streets. I like to make the streets bigger.
Yeah, there you go.
Then I can have more people.
Yes.
But you take all these different factors and you put them all together and you just come up with the best plan. And we've got a great plan. Like I said, 46 years. Not a lot of races are around for 46 years.
That's right.
And we've gotten better and better. And now we're at a state where it's like, this is how large we can be.
Sure.
This is all the factors that come into the bridge run. Let's do the best we can and let's maintain where we're at. And if a race in a different city that has, it's easier to make it bigger. Good luck.
Yes.
I'm focused on the bridge run. I want it to be the best bridge run we could do every year. I want everyone to love it and come back and tell everybody, hey, they put on an awesome event.
Yes.
And Charleston, you got to go see Charleston.
Yes.
Number 1 destination city
in the world.
So why not do the bridge run while you're here?
Yeah. And I know you got to run, but quickly, how many wheelchair participants will there be this year?
Oh, 8 to 10.
Wow.
Yeah, 8 to 10. And we do have the racers for Pacers too.
Yeah.
They start at the same time. So that was something that we added 4 or 5 years ago and stuff. And it's been, very, very, it's great to be inclusive.
Yes.
They wanted to be a part of it. And in the past, we always made wheelchairs and stuff like that. People pushing to go in the back so they wouldn't be in anybody's way.
Right.
Well, they could run it in 38 minutes or 40 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Or 55 minutes. So why should they be back where the walkers are? So we added there's a time limit. If you can do it in a certain time, you could be right there in the front too.
Yes.
And so and they've embraced it and we've embraced it. So I think it's great.
And how many charity groups?
We'll have 11 charities.
Wow. And how many volunteers have actually signed up?
Whew. That's a good number. We probably have. We will probably have about 3,000 volunteers through that whole. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I mean, that's another factor that's super important. People don't realize. We have a staff of 5. That's not. That's small compared to it's a staff of 5, and they're like, how do you put on a race that big?
Yeah.
Well, we rely on City of Charleston, Town of Mount Pleasant, City of North Charleston. their fire and law enforcement. They help us, and then those 3,000 volunteers. We couldn't do it without those volunteers. They help us put people on buses. They help us, clean up the park afterward. I mean, I'm working on a group to give out the finisher medals.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, so it's like I can't sit there and give out 25,000 finisher medals. It's like you need to have this large group of people that love the bridge run and want to help out, and they want to volunteer. They give out shirts at the expo. They give out the bibs numbers at the expo. So it's like it takes an army.
Yeah.
And that army of volunteers is needed, and we appreciate them. They love the bridge run as much as we do, and they volunteer their time. So.
And I know some people can't get to the expo. So how many packets have actually been mailed out?
We have mailed about 5,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Ooh. Well,
And that's a process too.
Yes. Yeah. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
So,
Well, I know you got to run the channel 4. I don't want to hold you up with that. But Cooper, for Bridge Run and Race Director, Irv Batten, thank you for your time again. Welcome back to Quintin's Close-Ups.
thank you, Quintin.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Likewise.
Yes.